All right. Well, good afternoon. Thanks so much. If you're here watching, this is going to be our live walkthrough, live Q&A, I should say, plus a walkthrough of the Dad Mentor platform. If you are curious about this father leader community, if you want to know what it's going to take to be able to achieve the fatherhood goals I have, and can this community help me, that's what I'm here to answer. I want to talk specifically about things today, like what happens inside the weekly dad huddles. What are these leadership pathways that you've talked about? How does this community platform work? And then, of course, I want to answer all of your questions about fatherhood or specifically the Dad Mentor program that I may not touch on after going through those first three areas. And so, first off, just if you're here, welcome. Thanks so much. Really honored that you're interested and even want to know more about this. As I've been sharing a bit on social media and talking through the workshop that we did on Tuesday night, that live event, I think the main message is this: is that look, fathers have lots of expectations. It seems even more and more demanding as time goes on, and the reality is that there is just a big gap. There are not. There's higher expectations for fathers, and I think we hold a lot of expectations for ourselves, but there isn't a corresponding increase in the level of support or resources that are there for fathers. And that's really been the genesis of why Dad Mentor started 3 years ago, and how it's evolving now and focusing on helping fathers take on the role that they really do want, which is to be involved and contributing significantly in their fatherhood journey and in their families. And so let's talk specifically about this community. The community is structured on a platform called Circle, which is fantastic. It's almost like our own private network here. And so we have weekly meetups, which to me, this is the core of our community. We get together and we have a very simple structure. So I want to talk about that. The structure is simply this: we reconnect. What's a win? One win that you've had as a father over these past week or so that you haven't met with us. We want to. Why do we do that? Because we focus on strengths. It's so easy to get beat down or feel negative or to feel criticized wherever you are. We need to identify what's the good. What are the strengths? So what's a win you've had? Then every week at the end, we usually identify what's one action I want to take you're committed to in your fatherhood. And so we do a quick accountability check. This isn't a punitive community check, accountability check. This is a, hey, you said you were going to do this. How did it go? What did you learn, or what were the experiences that came from it? Did it achieve the result you were looking for? We want to more deepen and help influence you as a father on the actions you've decided to take. And then honestly, there's so much value. I've shared my accountability and I've said, well, I didn't really get to what I want to. And then another dad asked me, says, hey, well, what was going on? Why not? And then another dad will chime in and say, you know what, Drew, like, it sounds like you were doing this. This is, you're being a bit hard on yourself. And truthfully, that really helps me reset. Oh, I am being a bit hard. Like, they're seeing good things, and why aren't I? So that's helpful from a mindset perspective, as well as many other things that other dads could share. That's the weekly live dad. So accountability. Then we just have open Q&A. If you've got an issue, a challenge, something that's come up, and myself and Ed are the co-facilitator will help guide you, or we'll ask more questions. And ultimately, the goal here is, how do we move this forward? And then ultimately, we end at the end with, what is one action you want to take moving forward in your fatherhood from today? That's it. What's the one action? And nobody's telling you what to do. You're deciding for yourself. And once you decide, then our goal is to help support you. So you can put it hopefully in the community. We'll talk about this. You can put it in the wins. You can just put it in the community. Hey, or we can check in with each other through the community. Hey, this was your action item. How's it going this week? How's it going? So there's power in that shared accountability. The power, I think, is in the stats I quoted on Tuesday, is that you are 65 to 95% more likely to achieve your goals if you have an accountability structure. And this, both the weekly meetup plus the community aspect to be able to check in, is your accountability structure. It's a system, and systems work, as I quoted James Clear. So that's what's happening inside the weekly dad huddle. Check in with a win, start with strengths, how to go in terms of your action, open conversation, challenges, questions, whatever. and then finish off with what's the one action you want to take. And then we follow through and connect again, collectively to grow, not to hold each other to impossible standards. So that's our weekly dad huddle. If you have questions, by the way, at any point in time, put them in the chat and I would love to answer whatever comes up. Okay. So go ahead, put them in the chat, post your comment, and I would love to answer it live as we're going through. Second, this idea of these leadership pathways. Really, the best way I could describe it is this: every father's season is slightly different. One father might be new in his fatherhood journey. And so the stresses and the questions and the things that are coming up might be a little bit different than what, say, a father who's maybe he's rebuilding. And the rebuilding father is one who's maybe a relationship is broken down. Maybe he's currently going through a separation, or maybe he's already divorced. And there's different nuances there. There's some similar challenges, but the different seasons and the different needs. And so the other one is fathers often might be feeling completely overwhelmed. That could be the new season, it could be in the middle, it could be in that rebuilding season. These pathways are really designed to help you self-identify for yourself. Where am I at right now in my fatherhood? And what's going to be most valuable for me? And the resources that we put or we talk through within these pathways are designed to meet you right where you're at in your fatherhood journey. Now, many of the fathers here who are in the community are in various seasons, and so there's a unique aspect there, but there's also some huge commonalities that every father can learn in hearing from fathers who are in different seasons or different ages and stages. So yes, you have the unique pathway that can very much meet you right where you're at, but you also have the ability to reconnect with other fathers in different seasons, and we all grow together. So the pathways are about you identifying where you're at, where you think you might need the most relevant support, and giving you resources to meet you right there. Next, I'm going to talk about how this community platform works. And as you can see on my screen, I'm in the main section. If you were to come in and join, you're in the main feed. Looks very similar to a social media. The way I'll describe it, and if you can see my mouse moving, on this left-hand side is essentially our navigation, right? Navigation here. It might look a little busy, but it's pretty simple to start. You start here when you come in. Here's the welcome and walkthrough. I'm not going to click on this. The get started checklist, which is designed as a very simple course. You check in, it takes you through each one. It's 5. In fact, I'll click on that right now. The course, now I'm showing it as the admin. This is just showing the people who have enrolled and who've completed it and their progress, but it's very simple. It walks you through exactly what to do. All right. And each of these spaces here, where you can introduce yourself, let's get to know each other here. We want you to share a little bit about who you are so we can connect, collaborate, and also relate to one another. So again, this is your main navigation. So we're built into 4 main sections. Start here, right? You're getting onboarded. Community, this is the main hub where everything's going to happen. So our DadMentor community is where you can post anything essentially. And then ultimately, we want this section of wins to be something that would begin to populate and encourage and lift each other up. So start here. Community is the next main section. These are the dad paths I referenced, these leadership pathways, sub with micro lessons. Okay. Calm and emotional regulation, rebuilding, time balance, and work. Then we've got live events. This is where our weekly meetups live, and then our challenges here on the left-hand side. The other thing we've got are fantastic resources. We have a full course, our Connected Dad course. This is 4 modules. I built this course off of things like John Maxwell's leadership content, Dr. Laura Markham's peaceful parenting, Doctors John and Julie Gottman's relationship skills, things like Dr. Peter Jensen in terms of performance. Tremendous resources in this Connected Dad course that you can go through. Then we've got free resources. And of course, the bonus for those who sign up this time is our Fatherhood Summit Vault. This platform here is pretty intuitive, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. If you go into the vault, you simply have each of the authors or the videos, click on the post, and what's going to pop up is the resource in the video. My computer seems to be working a bit hard, might be a little bit slow, but here's our video that will essentially start playing. You've got access to all of these Fatherhood Summit resources, these videos. All right. So if we were just get into there, This is
Thank
great
you, Ed.
content.
Thank you, Drew. Really.
So we're not going to play all of that stuff, but bottom line is everything is easily accessible from this main section here on the left hand side. Feed is it's like a social media feed. As I said, people have popped in and joining. I added some of these great resources. Taylor just joined last night, hopped in, introducing himself, and then sharing about the work that he's doing, connecting other dads. Here on the right hand side, you see our upcoming events. You see anything that's trending. And of course, you're able to access all of it from this main feed here. So I don't know that I need to talk through too much more, but the platform works essentially just like a social media feed. You can connect, you can share. Across the top, you can access courses, you can access the events across the top, or if you want, you can access members. And we do have something we call the Father Leaderboard. This is a unique aspect of the platform where it's the more you engage, the more you build up points. And the more you build up points, the further you go up the Father Leaderboard. And the whole idea of this is this, you know, as an I worked with the associate director of our MBA program at Smith School of Business. He had a simple phrase called "the juice is worth the squeeze," and he would say that to our MBAs, especially in difficult times. Really, what he was saying is, look, the more you put into this, the more you're going to take out of it. And this is what the Father Leaderboard is all about. How much you put into engaging in this community is the value that you're going to take out. And so we want to reward, recognize, and honor those who are contributing significantly on our Father Leaderboard. And that's here. So the more you engage, the more you get points. The more you get points, the further you go up. And the further you go up, the more the rewards you can potentially earn on the back end. So that is our platform for DadMentor, the Father Leader community. So do not see any other questions, but if you have questions, I want you to go ahead and put them in the chat there. If there's anything that I've missed, anything that you want to know more about, without taking a long time to be able to, again, show every single aspect of the platform, let me know. I'd love to answer those questions. If you're interested in DadMentor or the Fatherly community, that QR code on the top left of your screen, just scan it. It'll take you right there to the main page to connect and join us inside. So I'm going to go back. We're on the main feed right there. Go ahead, put your questions in. Be happy to answer anything that's not clear. I'm sure that I probably missed something. Okay. Well, not hearing any more questions, and I see people are dropping off. I will say thank you for your interest. Thank you for paying attention to what we're doing here. And the goal, as always, is to add value to fathers. This community, the opportunity to engage, to be able to learn and have access to the resources that have been built up over the years through Dad Central is what DadMentor, the father leader community, is about, as well as connecting dads to each other in a time when everything is trying to come against us and tear us away from the things that matter most, which is typically our family and our time spent with our family. So the goal here is to help you do that work significantly more connected, more supported than you would on your own. So with that being said, however we can support you as a father, dadcentral.ca, DadMentor, the father leader community, is designed to take that to the next level. And we look forward to welcome you into the community and connecting starting next Tuesday with our first weekly dad huddle after closing it down on Friday, March 8th. So any other questions, you can reach out, you can email us, you can put on our social channels, and we'll be happy to answer them. Again, DadMentor, the father leader community, is open and enrolling. We will close down on Sunday, March 8th, though, at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, thanks so much, and we look forward to seeing you in the community.